Hi guys, Shelly here with Sew Shelly Quilts. I want to show you how I get these perfect turned corners. Very quick, very easy. I'm showing you just on 2 layers, but it could work. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but a 5/8 inch seam allowance would be fine. I meant by more than 2 layers. If I had batting or something in there, I would do the same thing. But I just have 2 layers just for you to see the technique. So I'm using a 1/4 inch foot, but a larger seam allowance would work just fine. But I'm just using the 1/4 inch foot. So I'm stitching along, and when I get to the corner, I'm going to stop 1 stitch short of where I need to turn so that I have room to take 1 more stitch. And I'm going to lower my stitch count. I'm going to put it down to 185. My needle is in the down position. I'm going to raise the presser foot. This is where that freehand system sure comes in handy because I need both hands for this. And I am putting this thread in between the 2 layers in front of the needle that's down, and then making sure that it's against that needle in the fabric and taking 1 stitch. Now I'm going to pull this thread from the right over to the left so that both of those threads are in my left hand, and I'm going to put it into the fabric holding it taut. Turn the fabric, so here it is, both in my left hand. Turn the fabric, take a stitch, and then continue sewing. So I'm going to make my stitch length back to where I was and sew down. So let's do that one more time on the other corner. I'm going to sew up to where I need 1 more stitch. I'm going to shorten my seam allowance. My stitch length, excuse me. I'm going to put this scrap of thread in between the layers in front of the foot from left to right. So the needle is down and that scrap of thread is touching the needle, so that when I take this 1 stitch to get me to the end, it jumps over that thread. Then I pull the right side over to the left so that both of those ends are in my left hand, and I pull them taut under the fabric away from where I'm stitching. Turn the corner, take 1 more stitch at that really short length, put my stitch length back to what I was using, and stitch along. If I had 4 corners, I'd keep doing it just like that, but I don't. I just have 2 to show you. So here we go. Now, I do not clip my corners. I fold them. So if this was a wider seam allowance, I still would be folding this. So I fold it on the stitching line. I'm going to fold it down on the stitching line. So I've taken all that fabric and made a nice, neat little corner. I'm going to reach in between the layers with my pointer finger and hold the back of that fold from the inside with my pointer finger, the outside with my thumb, and just hold that until it turns. And there it is, turned. Well, guess what? There's that thread we put in. So watch this. When I pull the thread, pop, there came the corner. The perfect, nice, sharp corner. See that? Is that cool or what? Let's do it again real quick. So here we go. Here's my corner. I'm going to fold on the stitch line. I'm going to fold on the stitch line. I'm going to put my finger inside, and even if I didn't have a thread, this is how I turn my corners. So I'm holding that fold, my finger's inside and my thumb is out, and I turn it to the other side. But because I added this nice little thread, I'll get where you can really see that when I pull it. Pop. Did you see that? Just pull it right out. So that is how you get a really crisp, full corner. That seam allowance is perfectly folded in there. It makes them not cave in on themselves. And this thread, boom, makes it just crisp as it can be. And then when you're done with the thread, you just pull it out. And it's gone. So, this is Shelly with Sew Shelly Quilts. And that's my trick for getting really awesome corners. Bye.